millennials who are listening to me, Gen Zs who are listening to me, we as the young people, we are better equipped to fight this monster called tribalism. My name is Mabonga, and I am a public policy consultant and also a civic educator at GPAC. And this morning I want to talk about waging war against tribalism in Kenya. Waging war against tribalism in Kenya. Na ningependa kuanza kwa kusema ya kwamba the root of tribalism in our country is dates from independence. All of us know that we fought against the British rule in this country. And for us to fight against the enemy, we had to take a tribal approach, because Kenya was organized or is organized in form of different tribes that are in different parts of the country. So for us to be unified against this Mzungu man, we had to take a tribal look so that people of a particular tribe will deal with will fight against the colonialists from this angle, and those of these leaders of this tribe will fight from this angle, and those will fight from this tribe from this angle, so that ultimately we weaken this Mzungu man. And of course, because also the Mzungu man did not understand the tribal languages that we had. He didn't understand Kikuyu, he didn't know Luo, he didn't know Luya, he didn't know all these languages. And so it was easier for us to organize ourselves in tribal facades so that we can win over this enemy. And it was very important for us to take on that approach. And it worked, because now finally we were able to send this Mzungu man off our country. But now those who took over power had one duty to do, because this system had helped us to gain our independence, and now we had a country. Their duty was now to get off this system and unite the country. Get themselves out of the tribal cocoons. Unfortunately, the individuals who took power then did not stop this thing. And that's why I started by saying that vita ambavyo vimesumbua baba yako usione ni vita rahisi kwako, kwamba utazishinda rahisi. So they were unable to get off from the tribal nests. Instead, they formed the tribal nests as a way by which they will get into they will as a fortress of maintaining their political power. And so they sustained tribal system, they sustained even distribution of government positions and so on in tribal facets. And that problem from then up to today has never been sorted, because we continue to look at each other from our tribal lenses. And that is a mess that has really messed up this country. And so what am I saying? That with the understanding of that history, then we, the young people, millennials who are listening to me, Gen Zs who are listening to me, we as the young people, we are better equipped to fight this monster called tribalism. Why are we better equipped? Because we know the challenges that our fathers went through. We know the challenges that our grandparents went through because of this tribalism. And now we can sit and objectively identify ourselves as Kenyans. I no longer identify myself much by my tribe, but much by my country called Kenya. We are best placed to develop what we call a nationalistic front that will bring unity. And as I read before, David writes and says how beautiful it is when brothers and sisters, live in unity. We can't live in unity when we sustain tribal attitudes in our minds. We can only live in unity when we consider each other as brothers and sisters. And that is the essence of what we authored called the KY doctrine. That we need to be one, that we are one, and so we need to be one. When I have a brother who is a Kikuyu, he's my brother or sister. When I have a sister who is from the coast, he's my brother or sister. When I have my brother from Luoland, he's my brother or sister. When I have a Turkana brother or sister, he's my brother. When I have a Somali brother from the north, he is my brother or sister. And I view them in that regard because they are Kenyans. I've talked about the dangers of having what we call a tribal society. But I would like to point to one thing that, and I would like just to read a quote here on what it means when we have to deal with this problem called corruption. And I read this from a gentleman called Julia Fishman, and he writes this, and I would like to read it, that we have met the enemy, and the enemy is us. I'll read it again. We have met the enemy, and the enemy, he is us. And he says that the biggest obstacle in winning any fight is lack of discernment. More often than not, people who do not understand themselves fight themselves and are actually on the side of their enemies. People who don't understand themselves, they fight themselves and they're on the side of the enemy. Now, why tribalism has not ended in this country is because a good number of people have not understood that the purpose of tribalism is to help us to fight ourselves. When I fight my Kikuyu brother, I'm fighting myself. When I fight my Kamba brother, I'm fighting myself. When I fight my brother from the Somali tribe, I'm fighting myself. When I fight my brother from Lowland, I'm fighting myself. When I fight that brother, a Turkana brother, or wherever tribe that there is, a Kisii brother or sister, I am fighting myself. And so when we have this conflict of this tribe over this tribe, over that tribe, over that tribe, it's not war. Our enemy is not external. Our enemy becomes ourselves. And so how can we fix our enemy who is us? We can only fix tribalism when we know that the enemy is us. And how can we fix an enemy who is us? We can only fix an enemy who is us by understanding us or ourselves and coming to that place of saying that no, I was wrong. I shouldn't have treated that brother that way. I shouldn't have treated that sister that way. I shouldn't have said those words. I shouldn't have participated, in killing a brother or sister. And it is possible to do that. What we are saying is that if we begin seeing our leaders not from the tribal angle, we'll begin seeing this one is a wrong leader and we have to get him off. This is the right leader and we have to put him in power. This is the best person in office and we'll put him in power, regardless of their tribe or regardless of their ethnic background. As I finish, I will want to say that we can be the champions of developing a united front against tribalism in our country. If you have not subscribed to our channel, kindly subscribe. That's a way of supporting us and supporting what we do.